everyone, and welcome to County Perspective. This show focuses on Frederick County government, local programs and events, and the Frederick County community. I'm your host, Brandon Rosa, and thank you for joining me. Let's start the show with our top news stories. Maryland Governor Wes Moore joined Frederick County officials and community members to break ground on the county's newest elementary school, Linganore Creek Elementary School. Located at 5680 Mussetter Road in Newmarket, the school will accommodate over 800 students and is slated to open in August 2026. Building a school in 1 year is something that's never been done before in Frederick County.
I am so grateful for the chance to see progress, to see what right looks like, to see vision come to fruition, and to see so many people who have put in such remarkable work in order to make this happen.
The design, led by SCA Architects and managed by Whiting Turner, will feature modern classrooms, sustainable construction practices, and energy-efficient systems to meet LEED Silver standards. Linganore Creek will relieve overcrowding at nearby schools and was named for one of the Monocacy River's largest tributaries, Linganore Creek. Eric Rhodes will serve as the inaugural principal. Frederick celebrated National Read a Book Day in Baker Park with an afternoon of stories, art, and community activities. Attendees enjoyed live readings from local and national authors, a Spanish reading hour hosted by Centro Hispano, and free books distributed by the Literacy Council of Frederick County. Artwork from Frederick County Public School students was also showcased as part of National Arts and Education Week, a nationwide observance highlighting the role of the arts in student growth and learning. County Executive Jessica Fitzwater and Mayor Michael O'Connor officially proclaimed September 6 as Read a Book Day in Frederick County and in the city of Frederick.
So every year, Winchester Hall hangs photos of artwork that are created by our students. And this year, we really wanted to get them out into the community. So we decided to partner with one of our community partners, the Literacy Foundation of Frederick County, and we're so excited to do that and bring arts and reading together. Once we're done with today, we're going to be hanging them in the Winchester Hall in the hearing room so that they'll be accessible to everybody.
If you haven't seen it yet, you can watch the full proclamation ceremony on Arts and Education Week and Read a Book Day on Frederick County Government's YouTube channel. The 163rd Great Frederick Fair opened with the annual Ag Awards, recognizing leaders in Frederick County farming. The O'Clayton family of OCS Dairy was named the 2025 Farm Family of the Year.
So the Farm Family of the Year is generations deep here in Frederick County. Many generations deeply involved in the agriculture community and still farming today, and then also passing that knowledge on to the next generation, which is critical to ensure that agriculture remains viable in the future, is that we pass that knowledge on to the next generation. And the Smith family has been a staple in our community for generations.
Founded in 1962, the dairy gained national recognition for its award-winning Holsteins and Guernseys. Now in its third and fourth generations, the family has exhibited at the Great Frederick Fair for 56 consecutive years. Other award winners were also honored at the event and can be found at homegrownfrederick.com.
I think it's extremely important for families to come out and see how their food's made, see the people responsible for raising the animals, how well the 4-H'ers and FFA children and the farmers take care of their animals, what's involved, how it's not an easy job, but it's one that almost 100% of the farmers have a passion for. Agriculture is such an important component of what Frederick County is today.
Together, these honorees share a dedication to conservation, youth mentorship, and agricultural advocacy that makes them cornerstones of the county's farming community. Farming Frederick host Yvette Castillo and I had the special opportunity to visit Chemtown Honey to learn more about honeybees and how beekeepers harvest honey. Since this episode is jam-packed with information, we're going to watch this episode in 2 parts. Now let's go ahead and dive into part 1.
Hi, I'm Yvette Castillo, and I've never been on a farm before. I'm visiting farms across Frederick County, Maryland to learn about local farming. You're watching Farming Frederick.
Honeybee apiaries have been quite the buzz in Frederick County. According to the Frederick County Beekeeping Association, there are over 10 beekeepers who harvest and sell honey in the county. In addition to producing delicious honey, honeybees play a vital role to the health of our ecosystem and our economy. In this episode of Farming Frederick, I'm taking a trip to Kemptown Honey to learn more about honeybees and how beekeepers collect honey. I just arrived at Kemptown Honey, located in Monrovia, Maryland, and I'm here with owners and operators, Sarah and Mike Robbins, and behind us are the bee boxes. So, how many bee boxes do you have and what kind of honeybees?
So we usually keep around 12 hives. The number goes up or down depending on the time of year and if there's swarming or if they manage to overwinter. So right now we have about a dozen.
Okay. Is there a certain month out of the year that bees collect honey?
Yeah, they'll collect it whenever there's nectar, but there's periods of time called the nectar flows, which is usually in early spring to late spring when the nectar is really being produced, and then that's when they collect the bulk of it. So what happens is the forager bees will go out and they'll get the nectar and they'll bring it back and they'll give it to the other bees to turn to honey. And if they find a really good source, they'll do something that's called the waggle dance that lets the other foragers know to go out and get it.
So is there a more popular honeybee that farmers like to use for honey?
Farmers will primarily use Italian bees, but for most backyard beekeepers or other apiaries, they're not as focused on the breed. There are many kinds out there, but a lot of the breeding happens in the wild, and so we like to get a mix of the genetics that are survivable in our area. So if there are bees living in the wild and they made it through winter, we want those genes.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's also a little bit like chickens, where you have a lot of different kinds and you're not always as focused on the specific breed.
So I see different plants and flowers. Does that add flavor to honey?
Yeah, it definitely does. That's one of the most exciting things. Depending on where you go and what time of the year, your honey will taste different based on what they harvest. What people don't know is most wildflowers they collect from aren't actually what you see like in a garden like this. It's actually trees. So around here we have a lot of poplar, we have a lot of black locust, and they'll also collect from things like blackberries and clover and other things too.
So is it the females or the males that collect the honey?
So one thing that's really interesting about bees is they can actually pick the sex of their young. So most of the bees in the hive are female, and what their jobs depend on where they are in their life cycle. When they're first born, they're nurse bees, and then they go on to cleaning and fanning to turn the nectar into honey. And the last stage of their life cycle is foragers. It's the older female bees that go out and collect nectar and pollen and bring it back to the hive.
So when you first get the bees, what's the process? What do you do from start to finish?
There's a couple different ways that it happens. A lot of new beekeepers start with a box of bees. It's literally just a box and a can of syrup and a queen bee who's in a special cage. You just you shake and dump the bees into a larger box, and then you put the queen in her special cell into there, and they will release her over time. It has a small fondant cap that they chew through. By the time they chew through, they've adapted her as their queen, and they take on her pheromones, and then they just start drawing comb. Another way is through a nuke or a nucleus, which is kind of like a half of a hive. So you have 5 frames of fully drawn comb, you have honey, pollen, everything they need in brood, everything they need to get going faster.
So when you get the frames out, what happens next?
Once we have the honey supers, which contain all the frames of drawn comb and are filled with honey, we take it into our basement where we have an uncapping station. We first have to cut the cappings off of the frames. The bees will seal each finished cell of honey with a seal of wax. And so you need to remove that. It's to help maintain humidity and just keep the honey safe from pests and saving it for when they need it as a resource. Then you can put the frames into an extractor, which spins it around. It's like a large centrifuge, and the honey will fly out of the cells onto the wall of the centrifuge and drip down to the bottom, where you now have honey on tap.
Oh, okay. Now tell me this, have you ever got stung by a bee?
Many times.
Okay, that's why I'm nervous.
That's why we wear the suits.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I'd like to help you collect honey if I can.
That would be
Sure.
Okay. I'm nervous, but I'm gonna try it.
You'll do great.
Okay.
Okay, that was some interesting stuff, huh? Now, when we come back from break, Yvette and Mike will open a bee box so we can see what's inside. See you in a few minutes. Hello everyone and welcome back to the second half of County Perspective. We just took a look at part 1 of the latest Farming Frederick episode. Before we dive into part 2, let's see what Cutie is looking for a forever home in this episode of Adorable Adoptables.
It took Winnie a few weeks to get used to the hustle and bustle of shelter life, but now that she's settled, this petite 2-year-old is showing off her winning personality. Winnie is a talkative girl who has no problem asking for the affection she desires. She soaks up all the attention she can get from our volunteers and goes wild for playtime. When she's worn out, Winnie is happy snoozing in a comfy bed. This gorgeous house panther is spayed, current on her vaccinations, preventatives, and ready for her forever home. To learn more about Winnie and our adoption process, call Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center at 301-600-1546.
If you like the first part of Farming Frederick, then you're going to love this. Yvette and Mike are about to crack open a bee box to see how bees create their very own ecosystem inside. Without further ado, let's roll part 2.
I'm at the bee boxes with Yvette. I have my smoker here. We've just loaded it up with some pine needles. The smoke keeps the flames from getting out of control, and it just smokes every time we pump it, gets some air.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hand that to Yvette. She'll be my smoker. I'm also gonna hand you a hive tool so you can assist me with popping the boxes. Okay. And we're gonna look in this top box and just see what kind of honey they have. So this right here is called a maze board. This is going to keep the bees from getting into the box, but they can leave. So I'm gonna pop the top and you just go ahead and smoke. Okay. There we go. As expected, very few bees up here because of the maze board.
Okay. Do I keep smoking?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
There we go. We've got a couple in there. Nothing too much though.
Uh-huh.
So this is our standard box of honey. It has some decent weight to it. It's probably about 40 pounds right now. You really want them to be about 50 or 60 before they're done.
Okay.
I'm going to pop a frame out to show you what they've been working on.
Should I still smoke?
You don't need to smoke right now.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, wow.
So this is all freshly drawn white comb. You can see a couple of the white spots is where they've begun capping. Mm-hmm. These are full of dehydrating nectar. Beautiful, beautiful honey. This is exactly what we want. It's not quite ready, but we'll have other boxes that are ready. And this box is absolutely full of these frames.
Now the bees seem very calm.
They are very calm, yeah. And this little stuff right here is propolis. This is made from tree resin. This is what they glue everything down with. And some people actually like to chew on it. We'll set that aside because I collect it.
Boy, I'm hearing the bees around me. I'm not gonna get stung, am I?
No. So go ahead and smoke under here.
Okay.
Give it lots of smoke.
Woo!
Lots of smoke. Right in there.
All right. Oh, I see them.
So you can see they wanted to get back into there.
Yeah.
We're going to gently set this down. So this is another honey super. Mm-hmm. They're working on it a little bit. It's clearly not going to be as heavy. So we're going to remove that. So go ahead and smoke under here when I pop it.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh my goodness.
We're going to set that right on top of here. All right.
Wow.
You can stop smoking just for a moment.
Okay.
This is the queen excluder. It keeps her from getting into the hive to lay her eggs because we don't want to harvest brood. Mm-hmm. We only want the honey. So this is where they're living. Now, this box is extremely heavy, 90 to 100 pounds. If you could smoke right on there, we're right down into the top.
Oh, into it, okay.
Yeah, we are going to pull a few of these out and I'll show you some brood and some capped honey. All right, here we go. Don't want to squish this little friend. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. pull that up. It's a little harder when it's cool in the morning. The warmer it is, the gooier the propolis gets. Because you can see everything is glued down.
Yep.
That's not wax.
Wow.
That is propolis from tree resin. So here we go. As I pull this out, just give it some smoking.
Sure.
So this is a deep box, and this is a deep frame, so there's a lot more. You get about 8,000 cells on both sides total. So here's a really great frame of brood. It's probably halfway through its process. You can see it gets darker over time. In this corner, you actually notice there's some larvae, little white grubs. And these are all the nurse bees, and they've surrounded it with honey and not too much pollen, honestly, but I know they have pollen down below because I was in there yesterday. And this side, you can see it's a lot more eggs and larvae. There's only a few capped cells that are probably getting ready to hatch out pretty soon. And as you can also see, they're pretty docile.
They are. I'm shocked.
Me too. No, they really do tend to be docile most of the time, especially if they have abundant resources. So we're going to carefully slip this back in. One thing you want to be careful about is rolling the queen, which is basically getting her caught between the frames as they go back in, and then she's dead, and you don't want that. Although they can make new queens, this is not the best time of year for them to do that.
Okay.
I'll pull one more out, just to show you the difference between a plastic frame and a wood frame. You don't need to swat them. They'll actually become more aggressive if you do that.
Oh, okay.
They're just investigating. They cannot get through your suit, I guarantee it. So here we go. Go ahead and smoke.
Okay.
Smoke is our friend here. Okay, they are getting a little more aggressive. So we're probably going to back off now because they don't like what we're doing.
Okay.
But you can see just another example. There's not a whole lot of, there's no brood on this side and there's a little bit on that side. So we are in their main nest area. And we're going to put this back and let them do what they want to do.
Wow.
We're not going to try to find the queen. It would be a little chaotic. I don't believe she's marked. Sometimes we mark queens by painting them. They also,
Really?
but when they make their own queens, they're not born marked. So it can be tricky to find them. They're good at hiding.
That's interesting.
And that's what the inside of the hive looks like.
Wow.
Put that back on and we'll just stack it back like it was before. Would you like to go taste some honey?
Yeah, I'd love that.
All right, let's go.
Thank you.
We love sitting out here and enjoying things. Usually it's a little quieter than this. We have a neighbor doing some yard work. There you go. This is from what we harvested in July.
In July? Okay. Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so you notice how flavorful it is? That's
It
what
is, yeah,
yeah,
I can
so you can
tell.
taste all the trees and all the nectars we have around here.
I
And we
love it.
keep it raw. We don't heat it, so just to maintain its integrity.
This would go really well with some hot tea.
Oh, it does.
think,
Yeah.
We put it in our tea every morning.
Do you? Okay. I'm going to have to get some before I leave.
I like it in coffee too. Some people aren't honey and coffee people, but me. Honey and everything, so.
Yeah, I like the flavor. Well, thank you both for having me here today. I appreciate it. Yeah, I learned a lot, and I don't think I will ever forget this episode. Be sure to tune in to the next episode of Farming Frederick, because you never know what farm we'll visit next. If you would like to know more about Chemtown honey or any other apiaries in Frederick County, visit homegrownfrederick.com.
That was FCG-TV's 15th episode of Farming Frederick, and I've loved every moment of visiting the various farms. But I must say, I truly enjoyed putting on a bee suit and capturing all the action. Now it's time in the show to check out what events and activities county divisions and departments are offering in the next few weeks in this episode's calendar of events. To find out more about future events and activities, visit frederickcountymd.gov. Before we go, let me share some final news with you. Did you know that September is designated as National Recovery Month? Winchester Hall is lit up with purple lights through the end of the month to raise awareness of this important topic. National Recovery Month is the time to celebrate the recovery community, promote treatment and recovery practices, and raise public awareness about mental health and substance use disorders. If you or someone you know is currently struggling with addiction, visit health.frederickcountymd.gov/recovery. The site provides a list of local resources that can help combat addiction. The site also offers peer support, grief support, emotional support, educational materials, and family support groups. In addition to September being designated as National Recovery Month, it is also observed as National Library Card Month. If you don't have your library card yet, you're missing out. Now is your opportunity to join the fun. Wherever you are in the county, there is a Frederick County Public Library branch near you that you can visit. With your library card, you can check out as many books as you want, and it's all for free. You can even rent video games and movies or take a course on LinkedIn Learn. To find a local FCPL branch near you, just visit fcpl.org. Well, everyone, that concludes this episode of County Perspective. If you want to stay up to date on important news and events going on in the county, follow Frederick County on social media at FredCoGovMD. We'll see you next time with a fresh look from a county perspective. Take care, everyone.